getting something in carbon fibre, you know, with the
No, the
pulleys.
recurve is much nicer.
Say, Darren, do you know anything about this which hit me in the face during the very important news segment today?
I mistook thee for wild game in the distance.
Right, Hex, we're doing this Brave review right here and right now.
Yeah, I think we should probably just get on with it.
Vagrant, please resheath me arrow in its quiver before we begin.
You did with it, Hex. Now, I was very excited when the Brave game came into the office because the movie was very beautiful and the recent Pixar-related games have actually looked quite good. So surely this game will look as good as them.
Yes, it's not quite up to that Pixar visual standard we're used to, is it?
Here's a fine weapon.
Just like the movie, the game stars the Scottish princess Merida, who's had her mum turned into a bear by a forest witch.
If I can't remove Mordu's blight, will she ever be my mum again?
Unfortunately, there is a lot that this game gets wrong, but first let's talk about what it gets right.
Yes, well, they got her hair colour right. But no, to be fair, the Brave movie is a difficult one, I think, to translate into a video game because it's really a story about a relationship between Merida and her mother. To flesh out the gameplay, you'll spend a lot of time whacking enchanted beasties. The swordplay is generic, but the archery mechanic is pretty slick because it uses twin stick controls, so you can move while shooting in any direction.
It's also good to see a co-op mode where the second player plays a ghostly wisp that's much easier to play for younger spawnlings. If the wisp is having trouble keeping up with Merida, it can just teleport to her, and infinite lives always helps.
Sadly, the rest of the game conforms to very typical platforming standards. Merida collects coins from bushes and barrels.
Yes, one thing that troubled me was that why is she collecting coins? Why does she even need coins? She's a princess. I think the royal families are pretty cashed up.
I think you're overthinking this, Barjo. I mean, it's a fairy tale.
Affirmative. She collects coins so she can buy new abilities and equipment from the trading stones.
Yeah, giant stones that are actually shops? That's a bit weird.
Affirmative. She must also call on her triplet brothers who are actually bear cubs to solve puzzles to open doors for her.
Well done, boys. Now stay close and...
I'm sorry, but I think I have to have a tiny little rant. Firstly, why would you build doors in a castle that can only be opened by three little bears in tandem? And why is it necessary for Merida to use magic spells to build missing platforms all the time? How do regular people without magic walk around the forest? And why is the game so short? And why are there invisible walls everywhere? And why does the camera take so long to follow you? And why can't Merida swim? And you know what the worst thing is? And the worst thing...
Darren, did you just laser Barjo?
Oh, I merely fired my sleep ray. He was going to have a rant meltdown. He'll be fine in a few minutes. Sort of explains with being a cat.
Wait, so Barjo's gonna think he's a cat?
Oh, it only happens in a small percentage of humans.
Right. Well, Barjo may have been ranting, but there's no denying that Brave was a bit of a disappointment.
Affirmative. Especially so when you compare it to the smartphone version. It's a simple update of Temple Run, but the visuals are good.
All right, well, final thoughts, Barjo?
Could I give a score instead?
All right, Darren.
Well, consulting my scoring matrix, this game computes as 3.141592653.
Darren, that sounds like the mathematical formula for pi, and we only score in whole and half numbers.
Oh, all right. Well, it's a 3 from me.
Okay, well, I think you're being a little bit tough there, Darren, but not by much. I'm giving it 5. Barjo?